Disney's Golden Age films have visible imperfections in a lot of frames. Modern Disney animation is a lot sharper, cleaner, and overall with less flaws. So why do the old Disney movies feel more alive? And how does imperfection lead to better work? Perfection is a concept. It doesn't really exist in the real world. We have never observed something that has no flaws. We created the notion of perfection because as humans we crave completion. That something could be truly finished and not require any more work. The problem is that the human mind comes equipped with the very thing that will never allow us to be satisfied or to declare that something is perfect, whole, and finished. Our dissatisfaction is a biological imperative. It is the very thing that drove us to the top of the food chain. Now, despite never having seen perfection, we can still gauge whether something is better or worse, ugly or beautiful, purposeful or meaningless. We assume that good is closer to perfection, but we are surrounded by examples that show us that imperfection can drive beauty and meaning. It's when we prefer the unpolished, raw version of a song to its edited and professional sounding counterpart, or when we prefer 2D drawn animation to 3D computer-generated animation. In Pinocchio, when Geppetto's clocks all chime at once, each clock moves with a slightly different timing. The pendulums don't swing in perfect unison. When Pinocchio's nose grows after he lies, it doesn't extend smoothly. It jerks and stutters in a way that feels organic and almost painful. These flaws created realness, because you could see the human hand behind each frame. Modern animation in its perfection creates distance, almost too clean to feel alive. We cannot relate to it because there is almost no hint that it was made by humans. Wabi Sabi, or the Japanese art of impermanence, is an aesthetic philosophy centered around finding beauty in the imperfect, the impermanent, and the incomplete. It's realizing that in discarding perfection as the end goal, liberty presents itself. The rules you assume that to be followed all of a sudden aren't applicable. This is what distinguishes good artists from exceptional ones. A good artist makes obviously good art, while an exceptional one makes deceptively great art. With good art, you can explain why it is good and point to all the specific criteria that have been met and that make it an acceptable piece. But with great art, while you can still, in fact, point out to things that make it great, that will only ever be part of the story. There is something hidden and inexplicable inside it that differentiates it from anything else you've ever heard, seen, or felt. But if the goal isn't to create something perfect, or at least our best attempt at it, then what is the purpose behind creation? And why would you create anything at all if not to make it good? Now, I don't think that's what's really implied in the philosophy of Wabi Sabi. Dismissing the perfect doesn't mean that you suddenly stop caring about the end result. It would be pointless to want to create something lazy, careless, and bad. In the creation of any project or art form, we are looking to express ourselves in the most genuine and truthful way possible. It just so happens that we are imperfect creatures. What we want to express must necessarily be imperfect as well. And when we reject the imperfect aspect of ourselves, we have less genuine creations. Great work requires that we discard everything we think we know about how the world works, and that things will only work out if we make them as pleasing as possible to the outside eye. This could mean the job we choose, the hobbies that we engage in, our very personality, who we are. As you let the outside pressure of perfection affect you, you lose more and more of yourself. In conditioning your choices to what makes sense, you lose what you want to do. And it is only in the things where you have a natural curiosity and drive for that you could ever excel at. It is the things that feel like play to you, but are work for most people. In many ways, the praise for perfection and efficiency has limited us. We equated them with positive outcomes when they had no right to be so. Even though our entire lives we have been bombarded with imperfect circumstances, imperfect work, imperfect families, and imperfect friends, we have still managed to love them. Not despite their imperfections, but because of them. In the end, we all choose the imperfect, the incomplete, and the impermanent. Flaws are the signature of creation. We all choose Wabi Sabi whether we want to or not.